The two-day State of the Estuary Conference was attended by over 800 people. This biannual conference, hosted by the San Francisco Estuary Partnership, has been held since 1993. The conference attracts the region's leading scientists, managers, regulators, and citizen advocates who are working towards a healthier, more resilient San Francisco Bay and Delta.
And one of the things that we're seeing is that in recent years, water temperatures in the estuary and in the ocean outside of the Golden Gate have been substantially and really abnormally warm.
In our sampling program, we measured record high water temperatures in the bay as this climatic event persisted. And of course, you know that a new one is developing right now, already with changes in coral reef systems in Hawaii.
One of the things that we've been doing a lot of thinking about at the Estuary and Ocean Science Center is the connection between the ocean and the estuary. And we see porpoises now, we see bottlenose dolphins. If we take the macroscopic view and step back and look at the changes that are happening in the ocean, one of the reasons we were starting to see humpbacks closer and closer to shore had something to do with that big warm water event.
We're also seeing an increased frequency of heat waves with climate change. You can see that in all these red places. This is happening globally. So we have to expect and plan for climate variability, and these events are really the new normal.
There is good news about Northern California's ability to improve things, like water consumption.
The Bay Area, along with Southern California, urban areas, have decreased their per capita use by almost 50%. The population has grown 30%. Our water use is actually less today overall than it was 30 years ago. For multiple reasons, we have to do better because of the vulnerability of the Bay region. The vulnerability is that we are the region that it relies on imported water more than any other place in the state. People think of Southern California as being all about imports. No, it's the Bay Area. In an average year, 75% of our water is imported.
Our largest source of water is the snowpack in the Sierra, and every year that gets smaller.
One of the manifestations of global warming is loss of snowpack. This graph here shows projections of snowpack in the Sacramento Basin, but they all agreed on one thing, and that is that the loss of snowpack that we're experiencing now will continue into the future.
The conference tackled some of the region's biggest challenges, including the future of Highway 37, a heavily used commute route to the northern San Francisco Bay that is already subject to frequent flooding and closure.
We're going to start with a focus on one of the big challenge and opportunities. It's the Highway 37 project.
It's only 20 miles, but congestion is severe. It's probably the worst corridor in the region. Flooding is also a real thing on this corridor. The highway was closed twice in the last 3 years, and the projection is that by about 2050 or so, a majority of this corridor is going to be permanently inundated. In terms of the ultimate vision, we are looking at providing a higher and wider highway adjacent to the current highway from about 101 all the way to Highway 29.
Some of you are in this because of the importance of saving ecosystems generally and want to be on the side of humanity that understands that we have a relationship between the earth, its life-giving waters, and ourselves. Can we be the generation that learns to restore nature and live in harmony with it? And because of people like you, I remain hopeful and energized.
Thank you to our conference sponsors. For more on the State of the Estuary Conference, visit sfestuary.org.